where thinking smart is what we do, how we do, and it's just the reality of life, bro. I got my boy Zack here. Hey, don't Zack look like I'm just joking. He got the beard going, man. It's a pleasure to have you in my space, in ThinkSmart Studio, which everybody knows is my apartment.
Yeah.
But right now, you get it how you live. You get it how you live and you make it happen. But man, you have some amazing things going on. And I am so proud to see you progress. And so proud to see you win in your own right. And have a journey before you that you're not afraid to take. And that's big because you showed me what you doing. And I'm like, well, that's a journey in itself. Everybody can't do it because they won't do it, because they don't want to try to do it, because they're lazy not to even put forth the effort to do. You get me?
Yeah. Correct.
And it's true. And it's true because that's in every industry. But it is what it is. So tell them who you are.
My name is Zachary Davis.
Don't be nervous, man. You nervous?
No, I'm not nervous.
Okay.
I'm not nervous. My name is Zachary Davis. Joe actually was my res life advisor.
If y'all haven't noticed, a lot of the guests and people I bring up, they're past students that worked for me, worked with me, or lived under the residential hall that I directed.
Yes, correct.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And so I just recently moved here from St. Louis down here to Dallas about 4 weeks ago. Didn't have a job, just stepped out on faith and was like, I'm gonna make this move. St. Louis is, for all the St. Louis people that are watching this, you know, St. Louis is small, everybody knows everybody. And I just needed to get on to the next adventure, the next journey, in order to continue to grow myself. And Dallas was the move.
Great move. It was a great move. Dallas is a great place. Texas is an amazing place. Everything is big in Texas, I'll tell you that much. It take you 30 minutes, 45 minutes to get anywhere down there.
Oh my gosh, it's crazy.
But I've done it for the last 4 years. You know, you will survive. I've survived. You just gotta have that push, bro. But let's get back to what you do, and then we'll get on some current issues. But I'll probably do another show for that. But let's get to what you do. So you are into real estate.
Yes, I am into real estate.
So how did you get into real estate? Apparently you had to get into it in St. Louis, but how did you get into real estate, and what grabbed you with real estate?
So what really grabbed me with real estate was, so I'm a finance major. Got my bachelor's degree in finance from Harrisville State University.
Self-plug. And you keep plugging your hair, so you're gonna have to cut a check.
Exactly. And so I took a real estate finance course with a teacher. Her name's Felicia Bolton. She did an amazing job with the course. There was only 2 of us in the class, so we were really able to tap into her knowledge and what she knew about finance, because she worked at Wells Fargo, and then B, the real estate side. And she brought it to my attention. Was like, hey, there are, you don't have to go out and buy a house on the MLS, which is the big market for where houses are listed upon. You don't have to go there. You can go, there's people who in certain circumstances aren't able to pay certain bills, their property tax, their insurance, or whatever, and they end up being foreclosed on, or they end up having to move out of the house, and they go onto this list that you can grab from any local municipality and see what the information is. And the government or the city is really just trying to make their money back on
Of homes that have been foreclosed on.
Yes.
That you can research people, because people really kind of snatching homes up under people because they're on that list.
Yes.
It's a dirty game, but I guess somebody got to do it. So let me ask you this. So,
well, hold on. But so there's 2 other things to it. Is that as a business major and as a entrepreneur, I looked into other people's life who are millionaires and billionaires to see what they did in order to be successful. And every person, there's a common denominator across the board, and that's real estate. And anyone that has I'm not talking about chump change like little $1 million that the ball players are making, stuff like that. I'm talking about Warren Buffett money, Steve Jobs, stuff like that. Like money like that, that's actually generational wealth. They're making through real estate. I mean, it's the easiest game to get into and actually make money off it. You don't have to have a whole lot of prior knowledge to like construction work and how to sell a house and stuff like that. Because I mean, with today's day and age, you can go on YouTube and you can learn how to do anything. You can go learn how to throw up drywall in a building and do everything yourself. Buy the property, do all the work, and sell it yourself. So, but then the second thing was with my the more understanding I get to know about real estate. There was a situation that happened with my grandfather. He got dementia, he got older and stuff, and he ended up getting scammed by some people for his money, and they ended up foreclosing on his house. But just a little bit tidbit for the people out there watching this: if your parents are old or something like that, you can actually take over their mortgage and pay on that mortgage, and then have your parents' Social Security or whatever income it is that they're making, and have them pay you at like rent, like they're renting from you. That way, that family home that's been in your family for 2 or 3 generations is able to stay there and doesn't get swept up from under you.
Right. We discussed the situation with my family.
Yeah.
And I know we're gonna save that house. Excuse me. I feel like it flew in my eye. Just my eyelash, I guess. But anyway, so that's a brief synopsis on that, and that's incredible. And property and real estate is big for billionaires. I do know that I've studied this. That's why eventually I know I want to get into that game. Right now, I'm trying to focus on getting those dividends to make me the full-time entrepreneur that I want to be. And then tap into that market once I got some things flowing. Let me ask you this. So, on an average, for the average person who don't know nothing, you said they can go to YouTube just like you're watching this on YouTube. But the average person wants to be the middleman. Because me and you discussed about being the middleman. You find the information, relay that information to somebody else, they become the buyer. Let them know what you told me, because that was just incredible what you told me. As a middleman, to have the information, to solicit the information to somebody who's looking for a home to buy, how much they can make off of just a middleman deal.
So off a middleman deal it's called wholesaling, and basically what you do is, and you can reach out to Joe or I, and we can plug you in.
I'll put all the information down in the description.
You go to a person. You like, all this information is public. Like, it's just a matter of you put in the work and researching and finding the information. But you can go to these owners that have that are about to be foreclosed on. So step by step, you can go to Zillow, go to foreclosures or pre-foreclosures, go there, and then go to the actual person who owns the property and negotiate a deal with them. You have to do your research on how much it's actually worth, how much they own on their mortgage, if they have any liens and stuff like that. But once you do all your due diligence, you want to go in, put the property under contract, okay? And once you put your property under contract, then that it gives you the sole right to sell this property to another person. So the owner, that currently owns the property is not able to then go around you and sell the property because you have it under contract. And so what you do is, just to make the numbers easy, if the house is worth $100,000, okay, property has, I don't know, or they're wanting to sell for $100,000, but the property's worth 170. They're just trying to get a little money out of it and move on and buy something else. You come in like, okay, we'll go ahead with the $100,000, and then when you go to sell it to the buyer, you're going to tack what is called an assignment fee onto the contract and sell it to the buyer. So say the property they're selling for 100, you will then turn around and sell it to the buyer for 110. So right there, you're making $10,000 in profit for just a matter of finding a buyer for this person's property. I mean, it's very simple, and the paperwork's out there online. I know there's a bunch of different people holding classes and things of that sort, but you really don't even need to go about that route and spend all that money. I mean, some of these programs are $1,500 to $2,500 a piece. I mean, it's good knowledge, but they're really just selling you the paperwork, and you can get this information directly offline and be able to put it in the contract and everything.
Well, that's good information. So that's being the middleman for those who are interested in real estate right now. Because I didn't understand it to a certain extent, but I never studied it to understand. Like, but you know, I'm somebody who's big on reading, big on searching for information, and big on knowledge. So when you start telling me about it, and I really kind of sat with you and started talking about it, I started just doing my knowledge. Started doing my research, and I found it to be a very interesting industry. Because you know it from the surface, but you don't really know the back ends. And I think what really got me involved with it was the fact that a family home that I was like, so we really can get this thing back and really kind of take it over and build it back to where it was. And I realized that, and I was like, it just makes sense. And I never really tried to make sense of it, because I guess it's like you don't really care, but you care. It's like I didn't care, but I cared. But then when I seen those numbers that you showed me, I'm like, hold on.
Yeah.
This could have been done.
Oh yeah.
Excuse me. This could have been fixed years ago, before it got, even the tax dollars got to where it is now, where the taxes have to be paid on it. I'm like, this could have been done, been over. There's no liens, paid off, equity in the home. What are we doing? Like, let's get this bread and fix it up, and then put it back on the market, and just not even really kind of put it back on the market, but you put a tenant in there and get that residual income coming in.
And they're paying for the property.
Paying for the property, exactly. So that's on real estate. That's big. So you got some other things going on. So what else do you have going on? Because that's your baby.
Yeah.
But vision wise, when I say other things going on, like your vision of what you want to do while you're in Dallas, speak on that.
So one thing real quick,
Okay.
I want to elaborate more on the real estate, because it's a phenomenal.
Oh,
anybody can get into it. But what I recommend, and this is what I did myself. So I went out and I started a business. Okay, and I hate to say it like this, but you got to think like the white man.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a reason they do certain things in order to get these tax credits, and we're eligible for those exact same tax credits. We just gotta understand when to apply them and how to utilize them. And so if you go out and start your own business, and then start doing this real estate stuff, it doesn't take anything to get your EIN. It's like $50 in Missouri.
In Missouri, I know it's $50 here. It's a little bit more pricey. But it's not hard to get the research.
Yeah, no,
not hard to get either.
But what you do is you go set it up under, you go set your business up, and what that allows you to do is, you can write off all types of stuff. You write off your phone bill. Mm-hmm. Anytime you go out to lunch, say it's with your friends, and you all just simply bring up some type of business, you can write that lunch off. Yeah, you can write off part of your gas mileage. Mm-hmm. You can actually write off part of your rent too. If you say that you have a designated area in your in your apartment or house or whatever, and that's your office space. You just take the square footage of that and divide it by how much your rent is, and that's how much you can deduct off your taxes every year.
Yep.
And
like little stuff like the internet, and stuff like you can, because you use it for work purposes, you can write that off. Yeah. I do know that. I do know that.
And so, and by just, if you do a couple wholesale deals, like say you can make anywhere between $5,000 and $10,000 per deal. I mean, you can do 2-3 deals in a month. And realistically, I mean, that's 15 grand times by 12. It's over what, 200 something.
Man, listen.
Like, and then you go ahead and you continue to put your profits back into your business.
Right.
So,
and not to cut you off, but that's where mentally, I don't think people who do listen to this type of music, like when Jay-Z said, "I'm not a businessman, I'm a businessman." He was saying almost so much stuff in that whole genre of him writing that lyric. What you're saying is you are a business. You can write off your life in taxes because it's a business, because you are the business. Especially in the beginning when when you're an entrepreneur. Like, I'm not a businessman, I'm a business man. Like, I am the business. What I do, where I eat, where I go, that's a part of my business.
yeah.
So I can write that off in the long haul as a business and get tax credit and use that money, that financial gain, to put back into my physical business to grow.
Exactly.
So a lot of people didn't catch that line when he said that years ago. I caught it and I was like, dang, that's super dope. You know what I'm saying? They think like, people just like, oh yeah, I'm a business. No, fool. He's saying treat yourself as a business, right? You can write things off. You take care of your business. You got to take care of it for it to grow.
Yeah.
He's saying grow, make yourself better every day, every hour, every year. Build something into it. Yeah. I'm not a businessman. I'm a business man.
Yeah.
I
want to drop a little gem.
A little jewel. You gonna drop the jewels on? Drop it on.
For the folks back at home in St. Louis, man. If you go ahead and start your business, like I said, it's like $50 to get your EIN.
$50, man. That's fact.
There's a lot of resources in St. Louis that you can capitalize on, and one of the biggest ones is Justine Peterson. You can go in there. They'll help you put together a business plan or whatever, get you the little line of credit. No matter what type of business it is that you're trying to do, it don't have to be specifically real estate. It can be your own, hairline or whatever. Or I know Cal, he just started the whole Bachelor brand and stuff for men's grooming and stuff. And I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, but you can go to Justine Peterson. They're on Grand. Right there by the VA, and you can go in there and they'll help you get a line of credit. Like, you start, so what I did was I had my paycheck that was direct deposit. I went and opened up a business account, had my direct deposit go into my business account. The way it made it look like I had money coming into the thing.
Right.
So when I went to Justine Peterson to apply for a small business loan of $3,000, like, they saw that I had money.
Residual income.
I had money coming in.
Right.
And I mean, it's
that goes back to being
like
your business.
Yeah. I mean, it's just little things like that you can capitalize on to get your business going. Because I mean, I know everyone's dream is to be financially free. You don't want to work that 9-to-5 job day in, day out. And yeah, some jobs are great and they pay the bills and stuff. But I mean, just imagine you are able to wake up 10 o'clock, be able to hop on, sit in your pajamas or whatever and work on your business. I don't do that. I mean, I get up about 5-6 every day, so I can get the ball rolling. But that's just because I'm at the beginning stages of stuff.
They actually say that stays with you.
Yeah.
And most business is taken care of. A lot of business ideas and stuff come in those early morning hours. I get up between 5 and 5:30 myself. And I went on like a break from doing it, and it's been pretty. You gotta stay with it.
Yeah.
You gotta stay with it. But yeah.
But I just feel like I get so much done between like 5 o'clock in the morning to like 8.
Yeah.
It's quiet.
Yeah.
No one's up.
Yeah.
There's nothing really on TV.
Sleep is up.
So
When you are a entrepreneur, sleep is, you might as well cancel Christmas. Like your mind gonna be. If you're serious, you're gonna get less. You're not gonna get a lot of sleep in the beginning, because you're trying to figure things out. But you can't use that time to stress, and it's a different thing. If you use that time to write, to create, I don't care if you rewrite it, you got to keep putting it in front of you. Use that time for meditation purposes, to think and to pray, to all of that stuff, to work out, to clear your mind. You need that becoming a businessman or a woman. You can't use that excuse of I don't sleep and you're doing nothing. Now, there's going to be some times where you're just going to be sitting there thinking about it and you ain't going to be doing nothing. But at the same time, if you're going to waste time with being up, you might as well be applying it to something.
Yeah.
Because being an entrepreneur, starting a business, I'm going to tell everybody this right now. Excuse me. It ain't easy. And it's very, very, very stressful. You have to develop rough skin and tough skin and develop the whole thing. Like we're doing, me and my boy Roy, we're doing something on being bulletproof. And what we're talking about is like, when you're bulletproof, you might feel the blow, but the blow doesn't kill you.
Yeah.
And you have to become bulletproof in your mind and in your thought processes, and you knowing who you are and knowing what you have is beautiful, and you're going to eventually get to the people out there. Because if you don't become bulletproof in your mind, any little thing you're gonna scratch you, it just tears you up.
Yeah.
And people want to, especially in the day and time, people want to rant off everything. You can't say anything about anybody without somebody saying something. But sometimes you just don't have to say something, say nothing. Or the power of being quiet, or the power of just making people, like what I do. A lot of times what I do on Facebook is I propose a question, right? I know the situation. I know there's another angle, but I propose a question to make you think outside of the box. You know what I'm saying? Think on the other side. And then, not to say what you're saying is not right, but have you thought about the other side?
Yeah.
Because if you don't do that, you'll never know where nobody's coming from, and you'll always be on the defense. Us coming from St. Louis, we're bred to be on the defense all the time. So I try not to be that person. And I sit back, listen for understanding, and not listen to respond. Because once you do that, it's a whole nother world, and you see things so much brighter. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's pretty dope, man. Any other business things going? Because I want to keep them long.
Yeah, no, I want to drop one more.
Man, you can't give them all the juice. You can't give them everything now.
I know, but this one the point.
You want them to contact you to get some things now.
I don't know. This isn't business wise.
Okay, go ahead.
So, some of my dad always told me, he like we was talking about the business part, and I actually put in the work. He always told me like, what you put in is what you get out.
Mm-hmm.
And you gotta give a little, get a little.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
shout out to my pops, named Jason Wilson. He owns Northwest Coffee. He's at Cleveland Boyle in the Central West End. One of 4 minority small batch roasting coffee companies in the United States. Black owned, great cup of coffee. You don't drink coffee, you got smoothies, teas, stuff like that. So go check him out as well.
Plug his dick.
He's always down to talk about some stuff. So he's an entrepreneur as well. He's had 3 different businesses. Got his MBA from WashU. So go check him out.
No, so you saying you know what you're talking about?
Yeah, he knows what he's talking about.
Well, give me your plugs and where they can find you.
Okay. You can find me. So my business name is Be Excellent Investments, and our hashtag is Building Generational Wealth by Faith. And you can find me at Z Davis.